My name is Xavier Rogers, and this PowerPoint presentation showcases the work that I've done in Multimedia Development 1, Spring 2017. Project 1 was titled Creative Commons. Creative Commons allows creators to grant permission to everyone in the world to use their work in a certain way. I had no idea that Creative Commons existed before enrolling in this class. There are 6 main Creative Commons licenses, with attribution being the least restrictive and attribution, non-commercial, no derivatives being the most restrictive. In Project 1, we were challenged to become familiar with the Creative Commons licenses and explain what you can and cannot do under a particular license. We used 2 textbooks this semester: Literacy is Not Enough, 21st Century Fluencies, and Multimedia Foundations, Core Concepts for Digital Design. Literacy is Not Enough is absolutely the best textbook that I've used in all of my years of schooling. Project 2. For Project 2, we were to find a multimedia presentation and make a presentation using Google Slides. This project would focus on the 6 Ds of 21st century fluencies: define, discover, dream, design, deliver, and debrief. Define. Define the problem by identifying it and plan the direction it's going to go in before even getting started. Discover. The discover phase is the exploration phase, and it helps you to better understand the problem. Dream. During the dream phase, you're imagining what the solution to the problem may be. It's like you're visualizing what you want the solution to be. Design. Design is the blueprint of the actions you intend to take to get closer to the solution. And during the deliver phase, you are simply putting your blueprint or your plan into action. Debrief. This is the evaluation process. You look at your finished product and determine what was done well and what you could have done better. The video I chose was using multimedia in education. We were to develop 5 slides, and these slides were to focus on the 3 main principles of visual design: unity, emphasis, and perceptual forces. Unity. Unity encompasses the big picture. The big picture is how the use of multimedia enhances learning outcomes in my slide. Proximity, a sub-principle of unity. Basically, the law of proximity states that objects are more likely to be perceived as related when they are positioned together. If you'll notice, the photo lists examples of different types of multimedia. There's PowerPoint, then there's podcast or vodcast, there's digital videos and digital storytelling, and then there's YouTube. Each example of multimedia form is in its own box with its features listed under it. They are positioned that way to show that they are related to one another. Emphasis. Emphasis basically states that a good design must have a primary focal point. Contrast. Contrast is the range of light and dark areas in a design. In this photo, you'll notice that each guideline, it has a white background, and then the font is in a different color. This contrast gives the text a pop and makes it easier to read. Project 3. Create your own logo. For this project, we were to create a logo that represents you, your work, your family, friends, or an idea that was of importance to you. And this project would focus on the 5 I's of 21st century fluencies, which are identify, inspire, interpolate, imagine, and inspect. Identify. Identify the task. So the task for me was to create a logo for my decorating planning events company that I may start one day. Inspire. What ideas inspired your design? Inspiration can come from anywhere. It can come from TV, it can come from the internet, it can come from a picture, it can come from a friend. You literally can be inspired by anything. My inspiration came from my love of girly things and girly colors. Interpolate. Interpolate is to find a pattern with the known information. So for me, most of the events that I decorate for are female events. It's usually something for myself, a female friend, or a female family members. Flowers are often associated with decorating and women, and so are the colors pink and purple. Imagine. In the imagine phase, you are to visualize what you want your design to look like. You have all of these ideas running through your mind, and then when they finally come together, the textbook calls it that aha moment. Inspect. During the inspect phase, you evaluate the idea that you've imagined to see if it meets your needs. For me, when I finished my logo, I sent it to my peer partner and also to a few of my friends for critiquing. And this is my logo. The title of my company would be Nikki's Creative Creations. Nikki comes from my middle name. My middle name is Nicole, and Nikki is often a nickname for Nicole. Notice that I capitalized KI here because I was going to change it from creative to creative to piggyback on my name. And then for creations, I changed the spelling of creations to creations with a K, just because everything else in my name had a K. And the flowers, of course, represent my love for all things girly. Project 4. For Project 4, we were to create a poster with a photograph that we took. The poster was to have a focus and a message. This photo was taken with my smartphone in Galveston, Texas. I chose this photo because the sound of water and being on the beach is always so calming for me. Being on the beach allows me to do undistracted thinking and really think critically. The beach is truly my freeing place. I selected this quote: tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. The reason I selected that quote is because it is a perfect summary of the Literacy is Not Enough textbook. The textbook encourages educators to challenge students to think critically and to find ways to include them in the learning process versus feeding them an abundance of information to memorize. And the way to do this is to make them active participants in the learning process. It is no longer enough to be literate. We must be fluent in order to compete in the 21st century. And the way to become fluent is by learning and not remembering temporarily. This, my final project, encompasses all of my design projects that I've created this semester. I've truly enjoyed this class a great deal because it's challenged me to think outside of the box. I was a bit nervous in the beginning because I didn't know what to expect, and I actually contemplated dropping the class. I'm so grateful that I didn't because I've learned so much that I would not have learned otherwise. Thank you, Professor Pam, for an incredible semester.